A new flying Ukrainian winger for Manchester United. This is your early morning Sunday roundup show, everybody. United in talks, or Ten Hag specifically in talks for Tsygankov. I have to get his name right there. Them Ukrainian ones always grab me with the coughs at the end. It's Sunday morning, everybody. Make sure that you are giving the video a like. Make sure that you are fully switched on, ready to go. We've got loads to get through this morning, including a Branthwaite alternative, Harry Maguire update, Victor Lindelof update, Ugarte update. There's a lot going on with Manchester United. It's got a feeling of one of them days yet again. It's just going to be Manchester United news, left, right, centre, all the way through the day, all the way through the weekend. Well, leading up to the England game. I think we'll get a break for that one later, won't we? But yeah, going through everything quick fire this morning. We will be having another show later on again, as usual, guys. So we're live at 8 o'clock, we're live at 12 o'clock as well. And then we'll decide if there's anything happening later on, because it is England after all. And it's the big one today, guys. So yes, get your comments in the live chat. Make sure you get your comments in after the video is finished as well if you're playing catch up. And give the video a like I said. Let's get another 500 in the bag on this video, this early morning roundup. Let's go, go, go. It's not a here we go. Definitely not yet, but that is coming tomorrow by all accounts with De Ligt. We've already covered that, so we can just move across from that one. And let's get started on what's really happening with Manchester United right now. And that is news from Dario AS regarding Girona winger Tsygankov. Obviously played a big part in Girona making the Champions League last season. Great numbers. They don't want to lose him. Erik ten Hag apparently has earmarked this player as Manchester United's next forward. He wants him. We talked about Xavi Simons yesterday as well and what's happening there with him. But Manchester United, United are interested. I'll read out what's actually been said for you. Manchester United are interested in Girona winger Victor Tsygankov, who has a 25 million release clause. Ten Hag has held talks with the player directly. Again, Ineos and Manchester United targeting players with release clauses or coming to the end of their contracts, and players that have sort of fallen out of favour as such, that United think they can make something of. You look at all of the deals that Manchester United have gone for this summer so far, and the ones that we've had concrete interest in, they've all been with release clauses. They've all had stipulations and clauses of somewhat coming to the end of their contracts. You only have to look at release clause for Xerxes, Euro last year of his contract. De Ligt not completely in favour at Bayern Munich. Take advantage of that situation there, and so many others. It's like Xavi Simons yesterday, what we spoke about, Ugarte, exactly the same again. And now we're looking at Victor Tsygankov from Girona, who has a very cheap release clause. Played a big part in Girona's good season last season, and why Manchester United are looking at him. Old-fashioned winger, yeah, plenty of assists, plenty of goals as well in him. He played a massive part towards the back end of last season. His numbers in clinching that Champions League place for Girona were off the scale. They were brilliant. Good injury record, very important when it comes to a Manchester United player. Very, very important, in fact. And is seen as another option for Manchester United. Whether he is a first-team player, whether or not he's just going to burst onto the scene and be this brilliant winger for Manchester United. He can play across the front in all three positions as well, so that's another option again. Is it squad depth building that United are looking at here? Is it just full on Manchester United are just trying to get as many bodies in as they possibly can for the right price? Whether or not this deal goes further down the line and we take the negotiations for Tsygankov further, we don't know, obviously. It's another good player that United are looking at. It's another player that you would hope would bring a bit more quality to Manchester United. But then again, when you look at Manchester United's squad, when you look at what's in place already, we have got an awful lot of wingers. And it brings up the question yet again about Manchester United needing to get rid of some players from the football club. We have got way too many in the way at the moment of anyone looking to try and break through. And that's what we have to look at, I think, now. I think a lot of fans are questioning why no one has been moved on yet. What's happening with the outgoings? We're struggling. Willy Cambuala yesterday, we talked about that. With losing Branthwaite, and maybe until next season if we want to go back in and bid for him. Willy Cambuala has been sold on. A defensive option gone. So right now, until Matthias de Ligt is signed, Manchester United are down players right now from last season. And we need to look at, I think, solidifying defence. I think it's important that the defence actually gets worked on, because Manchester United and Ten Hag, we reported, a few weeks ago? No, I think it was last week actually, on Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire being the player that's... he's got the ultimatum off Ten Hag. Ten Hag has spoken to him privately and said, look, De Ligt is coming in, another player is coming in. We were looking at 3 centre-backs. You're going to be further down the pecking order. You're not going to be first choice to centre-back for Manchester United. So looking at that, I think Ten Hag has basically just laid down the law to Harry Maguire, and Harry Maguire has responded, according to reports this morning as well. And again, Harry Maguire is staying and fighting for his place at Manchester United. The Branthwaite news, which hit yesterday, which we covered, we did a small video on it yesterday. That Branthwaite news that hit there has definitely give Harry Maguire the encouragement to move forward with his United career, see out the last year of his contract. United are going to end up losing Harry Maguire for nothing next season, I think, and we're just going to have to accept it. He doesn't want to leave United. He's a United fan. You wouldn't expect a United fan to leave Manchester United. You wouldn't expect him to actually want to go, but that's the state of affairs. He wants to see out that contract. He wants to see it out till the end, and then obviously we're going to lose out on any fee for Harry Maguire. He needed to be sold this summer. I think they're going to try and push it, but they've left it in his court, and he has said that he's going to stay and fight for his place in the team. That basically is where we're at with Harry Maguire right now. He will be one of the defenders next season for Manchester United. Henry Long, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by Huggles. Thank you, Huggles. Good to see you back in the chat, my man. I support Ten Hag, but if he brings that player into Manchester United, he will bring a big issue for Manchester United fans in the world, because that player from Israel, which one are we talking about there? Tsygankov? I'm not sure which one, mate. Jonathan, and take his shadow with him. Right, in terms of people talking about Sancho and Rashford again, obviously in the chat. Adam, how many players do you think we will be buying and selling? I was hoping that we was going to be getting rid of about 12. I would probably say around about 8 in terms of players coming in. I'm going to round it up around about... I still think we're going to bring 5 players in, personally. Going after stories. We have more to talk about in a minute I'm going to get into. But guys, just give me your opinion on Harry Maguire and he wants to stay. Obviously, do you know enough about Tsygankov? Does anyone watch the Liga in that much detail? He played a big part. I want your opinions on him, having played that part for getting Girona back into the Champions League. So, yeah, let me know on that one. And let me know what you think about that as well. Get in the comment section right now, guys. Is he the type of player that United should be looking at? Well, some people might like that type of winger. Some people may think that Harry Maguire staying is a good thing, simply because we need that backup cover, don't we? We need bodies in, and if we don't get our targets in the transfer window, then you've got to look at the players that we've got. Sadly or not, Harry Maguire did all right last season, but I think everybody looks at Maguire and says, look, we can get money for him now. Why can't we get rid of him? Look, if the player doesn't want to go, we've said this before. I've always been open about what I think might happen. United will want to do one thing and push a player out. Eventually, all of this deadwood will go, and that could be over the space of, 2 or 3 years? Because some players will see out their contracts. Some Manchester United may end up selling or be able to sell. So, yeah, let's just see where it goes. But I think Maguire will now, with this coming out, I think he will be staying. I think we'll just lose him for free next summer. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly. It all depends on whether he performs this season for Manchester United. If Harry Maguire helps and contributes to getting back into the Champions League this season, and you could probably say that he's probably good that we've kept him. So it's all about getting into the Champions League. Basically, at the end of the day, the money's the money. Players coming in, fine. If United get into the top 4, I don't think anything really matters on that side of it. The money that you get from the Champions League now is astronomical, and it would be an absolute mega bonus for Manchester United if we got rid of Maguire and got into the Champions League. But he's seen his opportunity with Branthwaite now not coming to the football club. It's funny how it's been made regarding Branthwaite's decision, or not Branthwaite, probably Everton not selling to United, because he was likened to Branthwaite quite a bit. It's nothing to do with Euro, it's nothing to do with De Ligt. He's happy being 3rd and 4th choice at Manchester United and fighting for his place. Well, if everyone stays fit this season, Harry Maguire is probably going to be used sparingly. So it's up to him. Does he feel like he's going to get into the England squad? Maybe if Gareth Southgate wins this evening and keeps his job, then he's pretty much nailed on, isn't he, Harry Maguire, for USA 98 World Cup, 2026 World Cup. 98, God. Yeah, so maybe he's looking at that because we said before, look, Maguire needs to be moved on if he wants to actually get back into that England team, because Southgate's probably going to be sacked after these Euros. But if he wins it and stays on, Southgate that is, then maybe Harry Maguire's safe again. We'll see anyway. By the time that the 26th World Cup comes around, Maguire will actually be out of Manchester United anyway. He will be gone. Give the video a like, guys, please. You've got your target. A nice, easy 500 likes for you guys today. We're creeping up to the 100 mark already. Keep liking. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for all your updates. You're going to miss nothing as what's going on. I've been talking to a couple of people to try and find out information regarding what's happening around the Branthwaite situation. That's definitely gone. We can completely forget about it. Manchester United could possibly be looking at spending that money elsewhere. Now, we have spoken before plenty of times. I think we'll be the first to bring up the conversation around our left-back situation. And you've got to look at Manchester United right now in talking defenders, what's more important? I asked the question the other day, 3 centre-backs. Should we be looking at 3 centre-backs? Or should we be looking at a left-back, a right-back, a full-back situations as well? I think most people were like 2 centre-backs and maybe a full-back. Well, United may, according to reports, now look at spending that Branthwaite money. That 45 million that we put aside is now available to invest somewhere else. Should we not be going back in for Ferdi Kadıoğlu, who we spoke about the other day and was talking in detail about, the Turkey left-back? Luke Shaw, obviously, we know we've got issues with Luke Shaw's injury record. Let's not even go there with Malacia. And obviously, we've got Harry Amas coming through as well. Luke Shaw, I feel, could we class Luke Shaw as another centre-back as well? This is what you got to think about. It's like, if you bring in a left-back and you bring cover, like you've got Shaw there anyway, and Shaw can cover at centre-back as well if we bring another centre-back in. So, yeah, there is stories coming up and circulating around Kadıoğlu. Again, Manchester United are not giving up on this one either. They feel like they can go back into Fenerbahce and get this deal done. Simply because Jose Mourinho, yes, he doesn't want to lose Kadıoğlu, but Manchester United are dealing with Victor Lindelof, and apparently there's a deal close now for Victor Lindelof to go to Fenerbahce. So Maguire staying, but Lindelof being moved on. I'm not too displeased with that. I think that's a decent deal. But there is reports that United will use the money to maybe strengthen the defence in another department now, not necessarily go through into the centre-back. Now, that's just a story that's come about. There are other stories circulating as well this morning about United moving in for Inacio. And make sure you do tune in. I will go into detail a little bit more on these as we find more information out about them in the shows later on today. But yeah, Inacio being another centre-back option for Manchester United. Kadıoğlu at left-back. What would you guys prefer? Another left-back, another right-back, or another centre-back? Because the budget is only going to stretch so far. So I think after De Ligt's through the door, we find out about Euro. By the way, Manchester United are not hanging around for Lenny Euro. They're going to start demanding an answer. And I think this week we will get the verdict on Lenny Euro as well. So really interesting, because tomorrow Manchester United start pre-season officially game-wise against Rosenborg. We have got a watch-along for that as well, guys. So make sure that you tuned in for that one. I will leave the link in the description and on the live chat as well later on. If there are any mods in the room, they'll probably drop you the link for the watch-along platform as well, where we do our watch-alongs. We are covering England later as well, guys. We want to get involved and join the show. But yeah, Manchester United's week ahead, I think, is massive, because we're going to get the here we go on Matthias de Ligt. We're going to get the answer on Lenny Euro. Obviously, now we know that Maguire's staying. We might see some movement in the out department. Mason Greenwood, Victor Lindelof in particular. Facundo Pellistri is back. And then we're looking at Manuel Ugarte. Now, there is more. And we were talking about Ugarte yesterday before the craziness which was the Ivan Toney and Willy Cambuala breaking news coming out. That they were actually staying and one leaving, of course, in Cambuala, Sancho staying. So looking at what was going on with Ugarte, obviously now his Copa America is finished. 3rd place playoff game done this weekend. Now heading back. That's going to move along very, very quickly, because PSG have got a lot of business to do as well. We talked yesterday for Xavi Simons and what they're doing with him. The PSV sell-on clause issue ends next summer. So PSG want to loan out Xavi Simons. They want to make room for Ugarte with moving Ugarte on as well. So Manchester United are all over that as well. And then you're looking at Manchester United taking advantage of that situation. Basically, all the big clubs need to start moving players on and trying to get things in order ready for pre-season, which officially does start this week in terms of games. So, yeah, all the PSG players are back. Ligue 1, I think, is a week behind the Premier League in terms of its start. So, officially, they're all arriving back into club pre-season training next week, along with the Spanish sides and a few of the other European leagues. So, the Premier League is ahead, but everyone else is starting to come back and filter back into their pre-season training now. So, big week for United in De Ligt. Here we go. We're going to get the announcement on Euro and what's happening there, because United won't wait out this week, according to reports. They want an answer now. They have centre-back options lined up just in case in case Euro says no in the Nascio. They may go down the Cardoglu route instead in spending money on the left-back situation rather than the centre-back. I do want to go down the line of asking you guys, like, what you prefer more, like, what's more important? How many centre-backs would you bring in, 2 or 3? And should we just go with a left-back instead? I remember Xhaka news has stayed still. We've got bids in from a few different clubs, and I think we'll start to move on. And what my thinking is, and how I feel United are going to start conducting business, is based off, like, the American tour. So United set off for the States next week. Now, not this week coming, the one after. And they're going to want their players that are going into the season in place. Be interesting to see if Sancho goes. I think he will actually go, because I don't see this actually being rectified very quickly, the Sancho situation. This is going to be a late window one with Sancho. But I feel like you're going to get all of the other announcements, the little deals that we can make, and players not going out on tour so they can get business done. Let's not forget, like, the previous pre-seasons, Manchester United have been dealing with the Myrtles and the Richard Arnolds of this world. And they just sent everyone out on tour. Everybody went on tour. It didn't matter. And, like, nothing was getting done. I don't see this happening with Ineos and their control of the club. I don't think they'll be sending players out on pre-season on pre-season training and out on tour if they know that they're working on a deal to get them out of the football club. I don't think they're going to be doing that. So I think this is now where it's going to be going forward. By the way, Steve just put a comment in there. Yes, the Tsygankov move. His agents there. Yes, SEG. Yes, again. The link to them and Ten Hag and everything else, honestly, it is mental. It's like, keep it all Dutch, keep it all SEG. It's like everybody's linked in a way. It's weird. It's like this big conspiracy that they're all coming from the same circle and the same group. But yeah, it's true. The agency for Tsygankov is SEG again. And I think it's another deal that Manchester United could probably get done easy with their links with that agency as well. So, yeah, interesting to see. Let's quickly get into some of your comments. This is a full-on quick-fire roundup show, guys, so I'm going to go through as many as I can now quickly. Shouldn't we keep Aaron Wan-Bissaka given the Malacia situation? Some would say yes. If we don't bring another replacement in for him, then it is a big concern, yeah, because we've only got Dalot for that right-hand side. I've always said maybe United should look at the right-back situation rather than the left-back, because Dalot can cover both, and if Wan-Bissaka does go, then we're going to be short at right-back. So, yeah, interesting. Jonathan says, if we don't get left-back and this season we have the same issue of not having enough fullbacks, then there will rightly be a lot of criticism. Steve says his nanny's with SEG as well. Peter says, have to say, Adam, don't know much about the player Tsygankov. I don't care if they're all Dutch, if they make this club great again. Peter, yeah, that's what it's all about. Do they improve Manchester United? Are they going to be good for Manchester United going forward and help us progress? That's what you have to say. That's what we need to see as well. So let's see what happens with it. These players have to be properly recruited. I'm sure Manchester United have been working overtime behind the scenes to try and get these players over the line, find out about everything that the player is about, get all of the information on their histories, their injury record, like properly recruiting players. That's what's important right now for Manchester United. So, yes, that's pretty much, guys, is your morning roundup on this Sunday morning. The morning before England. We have got another show coming up at lunchtime today, guys, as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll get more detail on everything we've talked about today. And obviously more detail on anything else breaking through today. Great numbers again coming in the early show. Fantastic for a Sunday morning, guys. Really appreciate you all. I can see you all having great conversations in the chat. That's what this channel's about. The community. Argue amongst yourselves. Be respectful. And I will see you all later on. Fantastic. Cheers, everybody. Make sure that you are tuned in properly, subscribed, notifications on, ready for any breaking news. I've got you covered, guys. Obviously, hit the like button as well on your way out. Let's get that number up, everyone. And I'll see you all later on this afternoon. Have a good one, people. See you in a bit.